Hi everybody, I'm live. We'll see if the tech works today. We're gonna just try it, but I just want to say hello and introduce myself a little bit. Welcome to Heart Home Harmony Live. This is actually the second season I've been doing this. So I had 18 guests in the first season, and some of them are incredibly phenomenal. All of them are phenomenal. Some of them are super famous. That's all I'm saying. But basically, the whole point of this is that I, Noelle Gatz, who is an owner of a small studio boutique. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. In New Jersey and New York City area called Beam and Bloom. Please follow me there as well. That's my business site at Beam and Bloom. I'm also an HGTV host of two great shows. One was called Home Inspector Joe, and one is called What's Wrong with That House? And What's Wrong with That House is streaming on Max and Discovery Plus in 3 days. So on the 13th. So you can binge watch our episodes and then let me know what you think. You know, I'm open to it. Be nice, but whatever. Hi, DSA Society. Hi. All right. I'm going to now have Lori Paranjape join me and we're going to chat. There she is.
Hey, girl.
We did it.
We did it.
And P.S.
We're going
guys,
to crush this.
I tried to practice and it did not work. So
we don't need practice. We don't need practice.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're right. I think that's it. I think
what are we, noobs?
Yeah. The world was like, these ladies don't need to practice.
Let's just go.
Let's go. Where the heck are you even right now?
I am in my business partner's boutique.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Our offices are upstairs.
Okay.
And then there's this gorgeous boutique that's downstairs. This is our source for everything that we do. They are our buying resource.
Awesome. So it's a great place that people can actually come and visit and see and shop. And then also,
that's right,
you can pop down there and do all the things you want to do. That's
awesome.
Right.
Yep. It's a great setup. We've been doing this for a long time.
So Lori, you have a really illustrious career. The whole point of these conversations is to sort of be casual, honestly, for people to get to know you a little bit. But obviously, we want to share some gems about like what got you here. Because it's just interesting for people to hear those. I think everyone's story is so different. But I'm just going to give a little bit of your bio, and please correct me if I go off the rails. But you are stationed in Nashville, so that's your home. That's where you started. I think you're frozen actually as well. Oh boo, she's frozen. We'll figure it out. Here, she's requesting to join again. I don't know what happened. Oh no. I don't know what happened. She's frozen. Lori, you're frozen. But anyway, Lori is a celebrity designer. She has had the most incredible clientele. I don't know how much of it she can disclose. Hopefully later she can tell us some of her favorite celebrity clients. But if she can't, probably it has been disclosed in Architectural Digest and other places as well because she's super famous. But we met. Hi.
Hi, I'm back.
You were just a frozen
I've been here all along.
face. I'm like, I don't know her to be so stone cold.
No, that's not me.
As I was giving your bio, by the way, talking about what a celebrity you are, can you talk about any of your celebrity clients? I know you can because you've mentioned a couple on social media. Like, are you allowed to say who you've worked with and sort of give us some of that spicy stuff?
I can tell you that so we have worked with some athletes.
Okay.
We have done two projects in Long Island for New York Islanders hockey players. We have done a very famous Tennessee Titan, Derrick Henry. We have some that we cannot discuss.
Exactly. The NDAs apply.
Right. There might be a couple of NDAs. So some of those we can't really talk about. We have done some really fun things with Maren Morris. We're currently doing a project for John Party. And I don't know, we live in Nashville, right? So sometimes we get some Nashville.
So Nashville's kind of like culturally, it's very different, but it's like LA East almost in a way, right? I mean, it's music centric, but there's also a lot of athletes there.
For sure.
There's a lot of actors there.
That's right. And we don't have NBA and we don't have MLB here, but we have professional football and we have professional hockey and the music
Yeah.
industry and all of the people who just maybe work in LA but want to live here instead. And
Yeah.
so we get a lot of variety, a lot of fun stuff. But as you know, most of my projects aren't even here.
Right.
So
So
we're
this is
somewhere
astonishing
else.
to me. I mean, obviously, we know this about a lot of celebrity designers. Once they reach a certain level, they've got their teams in place. They're able to really travel, and they're sought out by the clients. And this is really how you start to go places like this, right? You have people requesting you to go there, right? I mean, you're not always seeking out work in these places. This is you being brought in.
No, and let me just take a moment to say how I know that I am fortunate to be in a position like that and have people come to us and have this influx of attention that we get from Instagram and from sharing portfolio and sharing progress and sharing stories. So our leads come
Right.
from Instagram, which means they come from everywhere. So
That's incredible. Even at the
there's
high
no
level and high end that you're at, you're still seeing that this exposure that you have on Instagram, the visuals, that is really what's gotten one of the things that's catapulted you, right?
That's right. So the living, breathing portfolio of what we post and put up there every day is
Yeah.
that's how we're communicating. That is portfolio. Like I have like a static website, but
Yeah.
like it's already old by the time we post it because we're on to the next thing that we're working on and sharing behind the scenes and stories and progress is really where people kind of see what we do, which is I think maybe where they engage a bit more. It's not just the polish,
Right. It's
it's
the
the like,
process and it's
yes,
the
yes.
personality that you bring. And what I was going to say was that though you are fortunate, and yes, it's great to recognize gratitude is like everything to me. I love people who are grateful. Of
Mhm,
course, you created that, you built it,
mhm,
you earned it with trust and experience and people knowing what they get
mhm.
when they come to you. It's not just beautiful
Yes,
things, it's also an amazing process.
yes.
Can you talk to us about how that sort of started? Like, what was your first? I don't know if you have to say first, but sort of what was the beginning year? What were the beginning years like? And how did that
Mhm.
move into this sort of celebrity
They
status?
were not like this. They did not look like this. They did not, nothing was like this.
Yeah,
And I did not come from design school. I'm a second career girl.
same.
Stayed at home. I was a TV news reporter for a few years, stayed at home to
Wow.
raise kids, and
Yep.
then started the second career. So um, now I have the luxury of having employees who
Right.
are trained in design and have gone to amazing design schools and have
Right.
all the technical that I had to kind of fumble my way through
Right.
to kind of learn the trade
Right.
myself. And now can hire my weaknesses, which is really
That's it.
nice. Um, but I had to fumble. I mean, I had to learn as I went. I charged accordingly
Same. Yeah. Yes. I love the
at
talking
times.
about that. That it's not like you were comparing yourself to high end luxury designers and right away charging that.
Well, no, I was charging $35 an hour when
Yeah.
I started.
Yes.
So yeah, I was that was $35 an hour, and if I got two of those put together, I was like, "Mama's buying
Yeah.
dinner."
Yep, exactly. Oh my gosh, it's funny that you're saying that because I have a small boutique firm and I'm just now
Mhm,
growing. I mean, actually, sort of, I don't want to say gave up, but I dedicated like 4 years to TV design,
mhm.
which is very different.
Yes.
Right when my business was starting, but something you hit the nail on the head. It's like, wow, if I can make enough for us to go on like a vacation a year, I'm like, great,
Hmm. Hmm.
right now.
Which it's funny now to reflect and see, that's right there for me. Like it was 15 years ago, but really it was like right there
It feels like
in
yesterday.
in
I bet.
for me and the way that I feel about our growth. And it is good sometimes to kind of take a little inventory of what we have accomplished and
Yeah.
how far we've come and what we're capable of doing now for
Mhm.
the clients. It's not just getting the client, it's actually executing and finishing it at
Right.
the level that we've gotten to, and we now have the systems in place, the processes in place. And people are like, wow, I mean, I wish my clients had an unlimited budget. And I'm like, I didn't get clients with unlimited budgets back when I didn't know what in the hell I was doing.
Correct.
And it's funny how those two things go hand in hand,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like you get the clients when you're ready for the clients and you level up. And when we get them
Exactly.
too soon, we fail.
Right.
And, you know, so it all tends to move the way I think maybe it's supposed to.
Absolutely. And though it seems so fast for in your case, I mean really it was fast. I mean it wasn't to you, I'm sure, but you did all the right things. You clearly did that. Where every time you got a new client, you up leveled.
Yes.
You offered more of the service and you were also clearly honest about
Mhm.
where you were and what
Yes.
you were providing in the beginning, which is something I always can pick out in new designers. It's like when they're being honest with what they are providing and what their experience and their
Hmm.
level is, and
Hmm.
then when they're over promising, under delivering, you don't want
Well,
to be that person.
let me say this. I think one of the secret sauces
I love the secret sauce.
in growth is a willingness to examine your flaws. So when I get in trouble and when I get a text, I call them tummy ache email or
Mm-hmm.
tummy ache text, usually could roll in around 4:45 on a Friday.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and the client's like, this ottoman delivered, and did you know it was
Yeah.
blue?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God.
Did I
Do I
know
set
it was
a bound?
blue? Let me
Right.
check.
Did I want it to be blue? Do I set a
How
boundary
does
and
she
it's
know?
almost not business hours and we can't talk right now because it's
Yeah.
Friday? And do I hold this off or must I work now? And do I have to address this and all that? So, really, what we do, even today, like even this week, is okay, here's what we have right now that does not feel great. What are
Right.
we doing? What's
Yeah.
our responsibility? How did we get us here?
Right.
Now, we don't always bear all of the responsibility. We always bear some. So
Yeah.
what is it?
Correct.
Did we not communicate? Did we not
Right.
share that? Was I not clear on this? Why do they think that?
Right. Right.
Or what did we do? I
And do you
think,
agree that that first initial communication is so important to at least respond, be responsive, be, I don't know if the word is humble, right? But
Mhm.
open minded to the fact that anything could have happened. We are here to solve that problem and
Absolutely.
we will deal with it. Give us the weekend and Monday morning to have our meetings and then we'll
Yeah.
readdress this.
I mean, we're going to jump
Right.
right
To
now if
respond.
somebody doesn't feel good about something, but
Right.
and then we're going to solve that one, but I think we're going to then back one step further to say why? How did we get there? What did
And then
we,
put that in your process.
right?
Lady.
Right? What are the expectations? How does this all work? And I got to do a second interview yesterday for a project that I'm being considered for that I would really like.
Okay.
And we talked a lot. I talked to her first, and then yesterday I talked to him with her and got to walk through process and walk them through and set some expectations and talk about the things that come from experience of things that will not be problems for
Right.
them. We will not have that. They said, well, we got an invoice from our last designer and it was really high and we thought it was going to be here. And I'm like, well, great news. I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, it is going to cost you a fortune. And this
And
is the number.
you know what you're going to get.
And you know what you're going to get. And they're going to sort of contemplate that. The phrase I keep using is informed consent. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to tell you how long it's going to
Yeah.
take and how much money it's going to cost and what level of service we're going to provide and what other trades we need to bring in to accomplish our goals and how we expect all of this to go, and that there's a really expensive warehouse that's
Mm-hmm.
going to receive all of your items and inventory and catalog and send damages back and do all. So here's everything. And then they can say, we understand and
Because you
we would like to proceed.
because you gave them a great and honest and authentic understanding of what the process is without going into every little detail and over explaining every little thing. You're saying this is why this is great. This is why this money is well spent, right?
This is our area of expertise. We are really superb
Yeah.
at doing this, and we have a really good system for accomplishing this in a timely and communicative way. And so here's our process,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that feels great to you and feels like a really good fit. And maybe the budget that I think, which we tend to bring the
Right.
budgets, not
Right. Mm-hmm.
not the other way around.
Right.
If they bring the budget, then we respond with what we think we can accomplish for that budget.
Right. Do you incorporate all of the contracting too? Are you a service that provides contractors or no? You do that
We
too.
do not.
Me neither.
We do
Yeah.
not. We
Some people do,
coordinate
but
contractors and we manage those contractors, but our clients make individual
right.
contracts with each individual
Yeah.
sub.
I love that. And you also create you create a project management service basically within for every aspect of the,
That's right.
because design is, especially at your level where you're doing these really huge projects, design is at every level of
For sure.
that project. Right.
Absolutely. Yes. And we're involved in the whole thing and we orchestrate the whole thing for them.
Yeah. So I mean, you can speak very, I have two questions actually, and I don't know if you're willing to give us the answers to one, but at this level, when you're having those meetings, like you're having one meeting with her, you're having another meeting with him because clearly their schedules are different, or it's a preliminary and a secondary meeting, whatever, however that works for you. Are you getting reimbursed for that time, or at this level, that is just something that you are giving that time to try to earn that client?
So no, there's a line in there for me and it's really clear. It's very blurry. It was very blurry for me in the beginning. There's no design work
Yeah.
in what we're talking about.
Right.
The only thing we're talking about is design service,
Right.
design process, pricing, budgets, timeline, those
Right.
sorts of things. So no, there's no charge
So you don't get
for
paid for your time to go there. You just have sort of already pre-evaluated those people to know that they're legit.
these are Zooms.
Yeah.
These are
Oh,
phone
Zooms. Great. Okay.
no, there's no
Okay.
in person. This
Good.
is a phone call and then the second one was a Zoom.
Right. Okay. Got it. Yeah. There's discovery calls more than
That's right.
anything to answer the questions. And
That's
then
right.
the Zoom. Okay. Got it.
That's right.
That's great to know because I think it is important that a lot of people think they should go do all these free consultations. And I'm just like, a free discovery call, absolutely. At your level, you've pre-screened so you know what it's worth to invest in the time in. But once you're talking about like legit proposals being made and like actual on-site
Such a
discussions,
learning curve in there and you know advising young designers on what should be free and what should you do for free and how do you generate business and leads. If you don't have a bunch of business and leads, then
yeah,
are you kind of volunteering a little bit to
yeah,
get your feet underneath you and so you have something to take a photograph of? Maybe.
right, yeah. And is that worth? It's a return on investment thing,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Yeah,
But you need something
yeah.
from it.
And I think at your level, even you're probably seeing that there's a lot of your time that is donated, quote unquote, to creating the level up that you want to see. Whatever. I mean, it's not so much because you have the back end and you have money coming in, but you are giving your time sometimes, like to go speak to someone
That's right.
or whatever it is.
That's right. And you know, the way we're structured is flat rate.
Same,
So
yeah,
our design fees are project based, flat rate, payable monthly.
right.
So
So you
we're
can assess with the square footage and the level of the client and the subs it's going to entail and all the artisans that it's going to take. And that takes time, right, to build that proposal. And so that's
and it
absolutely
gets
something
quoted in the beginning,
right,
and that's part of what they're contemplating when they're making their informed consent is
right,
this is her fee,
right.
and we owe this every month, and we owe it. We think it's a 1.5 year project, but if it ends up being a 2.5 year project, they continue to
Oh,
pay. So
it's bi-monthly. It's more monthly
it is
based
monthly
flat rate. Okay, love that. That's something new for
because
me to hear about.
I don't control timeline.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You can
my
only
income is
estimate.
not
Yeah,
contingent on a builder finishing a project
yeah.
because I can't control that.
Right. And there's still going to be things that you have to handle, even if there's pauses and there's breaks and there's someone
It
else's fault. You know, you're still going to be.
it evens out in the end. Sometimes we're, you know, devoting 30 hours a week to one thing.
Right.
And sometimes it's quieter while we're waiting for an approval or we're waiting on a permit. And it does
Yeah.
level off.
Yeah. This is great advice. And it's so funny because we got so into the business, but I think that's, again, thank you for sharing that secret sauce because that is universal. Whether you're at your high level, right, or you're at, you know, my sort of like successful but
Mm-hmm.
smaller boutique level, these
Mm-hmm.
are very universal concepts that will help
Yes,
people in their
for
businesses.
sure.
And so I was going to actually ask you this because I think that your growth was so fast. I mean, to me, it's like phenomenal. I mean, I don't know if fast is the word. Clearly, tons of hard work and effort and tons of years went into
Mm-hmm.
it, but successfully progressive. It was like
Sure.
a very successful and very upward trajectory and upward progression, which is awesome to see. And so much of that has got to be how much clients trust you. And that word of mouth, beyond just the beautiful pictures and knowing that that's getting you so much work, like people need to know that they are in good hands and they can trust
That's right.
someone.
That's right. This is their biggest investment.
Yeah.
So this is the most money they have ever spent at one time.
Yeah.
We are the stewards of those budgets. We are advising them on where to splurge, and we're advising them based on experience where maybe is a good spot to be
Mm-hmm.
conservative. We're advising them on this part goes into your mortgage. That's the house. This part is your furnishings. This is
Right.
a cash purchase that needs to be planned for. And are you prepared for that before we begin?
Yeah.
Can we deliver at the very end and install your project furnished the way that you think we can?
Right.
Because one is the house, cash or mortgaged. The other is always cash for furnishings. And
Mm-hmm.
those numbers are shocking.
Yeah. People are always surprised, right? How
Shocking.
much, I mean, and especially shocking for everyone, even the super wealthy, right? I mean,
I mean, almost no one goes from an empty house to a full house where there's a stack of coasters on the guest bed 3 night table.
yeah.
Like, what does that look like? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is good. This is good. I was going to ask you actually about some personalities and how you sort of navigate that. And you're clearly a very confident, beautiful, wonderful, expressive person who attracts a lot of great things. But I imagine that it can be challenging, if not for one of the clients. You're usually working with two clients, right? You're usually working with pairs, or not often. You
Um,
directly work with one, but I
oh,
mean,
I
you're
see.
usually work with a family or somebody who has some
Yeah,
influence
we typically
besides.
have a point
Right.
person, and then sometimes there's multiple people who are doing
Right.
approvals, which I
But
say decision makers
yes,
come to
we have
meetings.
that in our contract too. Like, you're the decision maker, right? Put that in there.
Mhm.
But I'm saying, like, how have you navigated tough personalities in two ways? One is, how do you assess it sort of before you get into it, so
Mhm.
you make sure you're
Mhm.
kindly monitoring the jobs that you will take based on
For
personalities, because I'm 100% sure
sure.
that has come into play
For
many times
sure.
when you're
For
dealing with
sure.
this level of person. There sometimes
Mhm.
are personalities that would not be conducive for you to
Right.
work with them. And
Absolutely.
how do you come up with a solution if you see that start to peek in, or how have you handled it?
Ideally, we figure that out during the onboard,
Mm-hmm.
right? The pre-contract of, here's what I think. I think a lot of times it's doubt, fear, lack of trust, lack of understanding, lack of being informed, lack of management of expectations that causes those things to happen later.
Right.
So it's no coincidence that I had more client conflict earlier in my career than I do now.
Once the process is so buttoned up and so comfortable and they know, they don't feel the
Once
worry.
I'm
But there's
not
sometimes,
like, gosh, I hope I get this job.
yeah,
Yeah, I can do it for that
yeah,
much. And then come to find out later that I'm over budget or I'm
right.
behind on time and all of those things. And then would I get in trouble? You bet I would.
Mhm.
Yes, I was over promising and under delivering.
Right. But sometimes, no matter how good you are,
Yes,
there are people, and you say usually you can kind of weed that out ahead of time. If there's someone who's just a cruel personality, say, or
sure.
it's sometimes people just cover that up in those initial meetings. So you have to
That's
be
right.
able to kind of see. I, I'm just curious about how
Hmm.
that's
Yep,
come into play for you.
it has. And I could not be in business for 15 years and not have some
You.
bodies buried.
Yeah.
And have had to break off some client relationships where either the boundaries aren't respected or that I don't feel like in the end I can recall having a conversation of, I think where we are now, I don't believe that we can go through the rest of this process and I and I think that we can have a positive outcome at
For
the
either
end,
of us.
which means we should end it now.
Right.
We should cut this off now.
Yeah.
So you can be free to pursue a
A better
designer
fit.
or handling this on your own, which is
Right.
what I think you really want to do. Or,
That's it. It's interesting that
right.
you said that, because I think I too. I just recently had a new client approach me who said, we're going to be difficult. Like, we care a lot about the details. And I'm like, that's not difficult. I was like, what's difficult is if you're rude, or you don't have any trust, or you don't trust the process. That would be difficult. But if you have a lot of questions and you want to know what's going on, I said, we'd be a great fit for you,
Mhm,
because we communicate very regularly. We want you to know what's going on.
mhm.
So it's
But sometimes the
interesting.
question is like if they start with, I really love design and I would do it on my own if I had the time, sort of is telling me, do you really want a designer to handle this project for you? Now, that's part of process that needs to be explained as well, because we handle almost the whole thing. We deliver design intent based on what they have shown us that they want, we
Mhm.
ask them if we've heard them. Is this what you meant? Is this where you want this to go? And if they say yes, we're kind of quiet after that, and we're just going to run with
Yep.
it. So we're not going to show you my example is always,
Yeah.
if you are the type of client that would like to take the linen samples into interior lighting and then take it
Yeah.
outside to look at it in the sunlight, I can send you to a couple of really talented designers who would be a really good fit
Yeah.
for you.
They're looking more
That's
for a personal shopper,
that's
for
not our
someone to bring them
process.
options. Right.
That's not our
Exactly.
process.
We handle that for you.
We've got that part.
Yeah. Like this is the trim. The trim might need to change. The trim on the tile might need to change by an eighth of an inch. Let us handle that. You're not going to be involved in that
No,
choice.
and we won't bother you with that
Exactly.
either.
You just
We
know we got it.
will get you to your goal
I love that.
once we
That is
all
phenomenal. So
understand that we understand.
right.
But we need that good
Yeah.
confirmation that we have nailed it.
Yes.
This has
Yep.
been blessed. We got it, and now let's move ahead.
Exactly. That's phenomenal. Then that's the goal. I mean, that's why you're being hired. So it's wonderful to be able to weed out that kind of person who maybe they don't want know what they want, but it's not a designer. It's not a or it's a designer who does a different thing.
That's
Just
right.
maybe wants to take the client shopping and
Totally
wants to do all those things with them.
great.
Right? Great. Not
Right.
us so much, but thank you. Do you have like people that you don't have to name names or anything, but people that, oh my gosh, we're almost done already. Oh, I love these. I have so many questions for you. People that have been with you on the journey from the beginning that you just feel like were so vital, even if not from the beginning, from whenever are there people who've been on the journey with you a long time that you really are so grateful for?
My business partner, who owns this boutique and owned this boutique in a different location in downtown Franklin, just
Yeah.
further south of
Yeah.
Nashville. We both started, and she had a small design business in her boutique, and I had a fake design business in that I didn't really have any clients
Yeah, right.
yet, and was kind of working on it. And she has never been resentful of my success, and she has we sit down when there's a pivot in her career or in mine and say, how does this look for both of us?
Right.
And is this still win-win? Are we still, and the answer for 15 years has been yes.
Yeah.
And we've grown together,
Grown together.
we've not grown exactly the same. We've not grown at the same pace. We've not grown in the same direction, but we've decided all along to grow together. And I'm infinitely grateful for that. And the women who support her business and the women that support mine.
Yeah, I think that's phenomenal. I'm sort of still searching for that. I think I have it so much in a network of people, but it's not a partnership for my own business. And I think I realized I was an entrepreneur as well. I was a stay-at-home mom for years after my first career as well. And I created this out of something I realized I was good at and just started doing it as well. And I think I'm in that place now where I'm looking for that
Connection.
teamwork, that partnership, and so I have my eyes and ears open. I have a lot of lovely people I know. I'm just sort of figuring out how to navigate that. Addressing that, because I think it's so important for me anyway. Teamwork is everything.
It really
and
is.
If you can find, I mean, even with the contractors, with everyone, I'm not there to be against you. I'm there to be with you.
And what I say all the time is while I am grateful that they cheer me on when we win, I count on them more when I lose, and that I have a safe place to fail, and I have a safe place to be wrong about something or get my teeth kicked in for something that I did that was ill thought out or whatever, in that I'm safe here to say, y'all, I have gotten my ass kicked today.
Yeah, let's call that
Listen
a learning
to what happened.
experience, not so much that you did anything, because it's going to happen no matter how good you are, no matter how well intentioned you are, no matter how buttoned up. We're going to have those times when we've been kicked to the curb a little bit.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's been so great talking to you. One of the bonuses of this is that I keep them short. They're like 30 minutes-ish. But one of the bummers is that some people I could really talk to a lot
I know. We could just hang. We could spend the day.
Again, and we'll hang. And I don't know if you're going to High Point. We'll
will
discuss that later. But
yes,
I'm going to ask my little questions because they're part of my whole spiel with the Heart Home Harmony thing.
Let's do it.
All right. So the first one is, of course, what is like warming your heart right now? What are it can be anything.
Nurseries.
Oh, that's what you're into right now?
We have some nurseries for some babies that we love and babies that we're going to love for really special clients. So nurseries are on the brain.
You did disclose one of those on social media, but I won't say it again.
I did. Well, we're about to have a nursery reveal for Sean Johnson and Andrew East, which will be coming to you very
They
soon.
are like the parent jackpot right
I
there.
know
All
they're
right, so good. I
wonderful.
can't wait to see it. So that's really special because it is an underlooked, you know,
It's
room
so
for a lot of people. I mean,
fun to do. It's so fun to do. So it's been fun to have that kind of on the brain right
because
now.
you're really decorating also for the parents. They're
Oh,
going to
for
be in there
sure.
so much. It's clearly like got to be a great, comfortable
For
place for
sure.
them. That is awesome. So nurseries, I love that. And what is home meaning to you these days? What does that
I mean,
mean for you?
always my people. Like where my people are is my home. So if we're on a trip or if one of them is laying across my bed or we're playing Pictionary or going out for sushi or whatever, yeah,
Yeah.
home's always the people,
Right.
never the
I love that. And
place.
it's extra poignant that so many designers say that too.
Hmm.
Because even though we know what it is to create a physical home and to make it
Hmm.
beautiful, like really we get it. Like what it is about bringing the people
Well, we
together. So
build
I love that.
these environments, right? Is what our job is, but it's in order for them to
Correct.
family in. So
I love it. Don't make me cry on my own live. So what about harmony? So harmony is a big thing for me. And it's sort of a weird word that I throw in there, but I think it's so
hmm
important. It's something you just touched on, which is
hmm
that what you're creating is an environment where that can happen. But
hmm
what creates that feeling of harmony in your life these days?
I mean, obviously business on the brain right now. I think it's getting to that place of informed consent with people who have decided that we are the ones
Right.
and we're together in this and we have trust and we are house shopping together or lot shopping together or planning together and doing all of the things like when we're in that harmonious space, I'm at my best
Yeah.
creatively.
And you're really creating that, let's get really cheesy. You're creating that symphony or whatever together. You're starting at the beginning
Mhm.
and you're writing that music and you're able and you gosh, you must be able to create so much harmony and avoid so many pitfalls when you get to start that
Well, and that
beginning.
magic, like my little pitch, I'll be brief about like, but
Yeah.
you know, when I'm talking to them is, you know, we take them from a concept and then we interview architects with them and we interview builders with them. And then fast forward the whole arc. And at the end, what we do is turn on the music, light the candles, pour the glass of whatever, open the doors to their home, and they can bring a weekender
Right.
bag, sleep in the clean sheets, coffee makers ready for them to make their first cup, and they can move into their
Wow.
house. It's completely ready. So it
That's incredible.
takes some
That's
harmony
special.
to get
That's
there.
special. That's special. Ah, perfect. Do you have a show and tell for us?
I,
So I do show and tell. If you all don't know, at the end of
I love
it's
this.
my favorite part.
I love it.
It's like
I
kindergarten
know.
for grown-ups. What do you
So,
got?
of course, business on the brain talking to you because
No,
you got
business is
this.
great. Business is a huge part of our lives. People need it. It's
You got
great.
this business mind too. So I love talking to people like you who are
Yeah.
enthusiastic about learning and
Yeah.
sharing and all of that. So here is
I
this
see
is
the
an apron,
logo. So you got
right?
merch.
So this we have a bunch of these, and these come with us on installs. So we wear these. So this is when we finally get the house
Right.
to ourselves.
And you got the pockets and you can like
There's pockets, so everybody has like a box cutter and a
yes.
Sharpie and a pair of scissors and
Yep.
all of those things. And this is when my team is working hard. This is when my team gets to see the work come
Yeah.
together. And this is right before the client gets the project back
Yeah.
from us.
I
So,
I
and
love that. It speaks so much to the experience that you're giving everybody.
and the work, right? We work hard in these. Like we wear an apron. Like I know people think that I am just flying around on private jets and being fancy, but we work really, 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 really hard.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of what I call play clothes. We're dressed in play clothes. We're working hard. We're sweating.
Yeah.
We're wearing an apron
Yeah.
and we're getting down in there to get it done and pull it together.
Into the
So that
nitty
means a
gritty.
lot to
That's
me.
why I love you, and I'm so glad you came to talk today and show us all this stuff and give us so much secret
Mm,
sauce as I was advertising. So thank you because I did advertise that we would be getting you to spill
that's
some
right.
secret sauce, and I think you did it very well. I
Thank
adore you.
you.
I hope I get to see you soon. If not virtually, then some
I
other
know.
way.
Thanks for
Oh
inviting
my
me.
gosh.
Thanks for including me in
Oh
your
my gosh.
selective circle of this design community that I
You
love so much.
you're most welcome. Thank you for choosing us to give your time and your attention. Really
Yes.
wonderful. So Wishing everyone a beautiful rest of their week. And Lori, thank you so much. And we will talk soon.
Thank you.